Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Asata?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I just call you Asata?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Gamliel. So, where you from, by the way?
Mali.
Where?
Mali. I live here.
Mali? Okay. So, let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with the slave trade?
I don't know about that.
Are you familiar with slavery? People going into slavery on cargo slave ships?
Oh, yes.
Did that ever happen to your people? Do you know anything about that history?
We don't have to talk.
Did it happen to your people? Okay. Give me Deuteronomy 20, verse 15. Because what we're here to teach. Because according to the Bible, it says that the children of Israel, the ones that you see here, and also a remnant of our people that are scattered in various countries across the globe. It says that the children of Israel will go into slavery on cargo slave ships, and that we will be sold to our enemies, and that we will be having to go to our enemies for the want of all things. That's recorded in the Bible.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You believe in Jesus? You believe in the Bible?
Not so much.
What do you believe in?
I don't know about Bible, but I'm trying to read it.
Okay, well, what do you follow now?
I follow Muslim.
You're Muslim?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, again, according to the Bible, you know what? First, give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Let's start off there.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, so now with the Bible, we use the Bible to, for one, help identify who we are. Why? Because without the Bible, we would not know who we actually were. We would be calling ourselves Black, Latin American, Native American, so on and so forth. You understand? So with the Bible, we're able to identify, because of the words that are written, who we are. So now it says that because of us the Israelites not keeping God's commandments, you understand, sis? That we were going to slavery on slave ships. So now give me verse 64.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So now, that is how a lot of our people, like you see here on this side, got to the various parts. You see how we were taken from the Ivory Coast, the western coasts of Africa, and deported to South America, Central America, North America. You see this? This is what the Bible's talking about. This happened during the sub-Saharan slave trade.
Right.
This happened during the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
The conquistadors in the 1500s taking the so-called Latino to this side of the world. This is world's history which is actually Bible prophecy. So now you said that you're Muslim. Verse 64 explains how our people learn the Muslim religion. Read.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So now when we were scattered among all different people, what happened? We were forced to learn their religions. Read.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So now, during the process of time of us being among those other nations where we were scattered during the time of slavery, we learned other gods. Give me the one in Jeremiah 3. So now it says that we learned wood and stone, other gods. What does the wood represent? Christianity. You ever heard of Christianity before? You've never heard of Christianity? Okay. You ever heard of, you said you're Muslim, right? You heard of the Kaaba stone. Kaaba stone in Mecca, the yearly Hajj to Mecca to worship the stone, Allah. You heard of that? That's what this verse is talking about. But now it further. Thank you. Thank you.
Talk about that flag she got. Why she got a flag and all that? Ask her.
Listen. Sis, why do you have the American flag on your face?
Because
And the flag in your hand?
because I live.
Are you American?
No, I'm not.
So I can't hear you.
I'm African.
So I understand that you're African, but do you like that flag? Do you like being here in America? Has America done anything for you?
I don't know, but I like it.
You like America?
I like America. I like both of them.
I can't hear you. You like America and what?
I like America.
What we have to understand as a people is that America isn't for us. Although it may seem like there's opportunity here, America is actually against us as a race of people and is doing everything in their power to keep us down.
Right.
The powers that be are doing everything in their power to keep us down.
Right.
Get me Ezekiel 35 verse 5. Who runs America? What race of people?
Right?
Yes, white people. Same thing. Are white people? Did white people put black people into slavery? That's a plain question with a plain answer, right? White people put black people into slavery. Now I asked you earlier, did
You don't be having to. You don't have to stress.
Sis, you said you're Islam, right?
Yeah.
In Islam,
I'm
Islamic. In Islam, they don't allow women to wear pants, right? Huh?
Right?
No, right?
Yeah.
So here in America, they teach you that,
Yeah.
right? So that's not a good thing, sister, okay? You like America for the wrong reasons. It's teaching you something that you're not supposed to be doing. So the brother brought out the law of Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Bring it out again. Watch this, sis.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
The woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man. All right? Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Can a man wear a woman's dress? A woman shouldn't wear a man's dress, a man's clothing. You understand? Pants are for men. It's not for women. So that's what America teaches our sisters. Because what? Look. In captivity, in slavery, our women still wore dresses. They still wore modest apparel. But what? In America, they changed the dress code. Now they say a woman can wear pants, a man can wear a dress, a man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman. This is the land of confusion, sister. All right? So America is not a good thing, okay? You have to learn your true nationality. Also, Islam was given to us what? In captivity. The Arabs enslaved us. You see that? An Arab man enslaving a woman just like you, a black woman. Okay, so you learned that religion. Our people learned the religion of Islam, right, in captivity.
Right.
Just like Christianity. That's what the brother is bringing out.
Right.
Bring out Jeremiah 3 verse 2. Watch this, sis. Watch this. Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 2. Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lying with. In the ways hast thou sat for them as the Arabian in the wilderness.
In the way hast thou sat with them as the Arabian in the wilderness. We learned Islam from the Arabs in captivity. You heard of the Arab slave trade? The Arabs had us in captivity as well. The transatlantic slave trade, they rounded us up in captivity, okay, and brought us here to America. All right, your brothers and sisters are here in America in captivity.
Right.
This is the land of our captivity.
Right.
That's what the brother's trying to show you, sis. Because we see you with the Islamic thing on your head, right? But then you got the American flag on your face and you got the American flag in your hand. It's confusion, sis. All right? You have to know who you are. Now, if this resonates with you, why? Because some of our people were left behind in Africa. Give me that in Hosea, I think it is, right? 1:11. Watch this, sis. Because not all people in Africa are Africans. There's some Israelites in Africa as well. There's Israelites in Europe. There's Israelites in the Caribbean. We were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth because we disobeyed God's laws. Watch this.
Hosea chapter 1 verse 11. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head.
Now one head is Christ, read.
And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
The day of Jezreel is the day of Israel.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant.
To recover what?
The remnant of his people.
The remnant meaning the remainder. All right, Africa, the Caribbean.
Left from Assyria and from Egypt.
From Assyria and Egypt. Some of our people are still in Egypt in captivity to this day. Read.
And from Pathros and from Cush and
Cush. Cush is what? Is Ethiopia. All right, there's some of our people in Ethiopia. Read.
And from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations.
He shall set up an ensign for the nations. Read.
And shall assemble, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel.
The what?
The outcast of Israel.
The outcast of Israel. Did you know that there's still slavery in Mauritania, in Libya? Okay? Right. There's still slavery in them Arab nations. Right. Okay? Those are not our brothers. The Arabs are not our brothers. Right. They have us in captivity, sister. Right. We have to open our eyes. Now you asked the question. What did you ask about this over here?
That guy right there.
You want to know who that guy is?
I don't know.
Wait, the brother's going to show you. Bring out the image of Christ.
All praises. So the Bible hasn't recorded who this is. That's a biblical depiction of Jesus Christ. We're going to get that out of the Bible.
Is this God?
No, that's not God. That's a biblical depiction of Jesus Christ based off of the words written in the Bible. Jesus Christ is a black man and so is God. We're going to read this now. Revelation chapter 1 verse 1.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So the word revelation means to reveal. So what we're doing right now is we're revealing who that is.
Come to verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So now, it describes his hair. The hair that's on his head and the hair that's on his face. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool. So he had woolly white hair. That's what you see right there. Read on.
As white as snow.
As white as snow. Let me ask you a question, sis. Who has woolly textured hair? You see the hair that's on his head, right? Who has hair texture like that? Look at my brother right here. Look at that image. You see the texture of that hair? And look at this hair. It's the same. It's just that his is white, his is black, but it's the same texture, you understand? So now, the only people that have that texture hair are black people, the Israelites.
Right.
Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So now it says his eyes were as a flame of fire. Why? All that simply means is because he drank wine. One of Jesus' first miracles was that he turned water into wine. So the whites of his eyes turned red. Am I going too fast, sis?
You're not going too fast.
You with me so far?
I don't want you to go too fast, but you're not going too fast.
I understand, but I just want to make sure that you understand. You understand so far?
I understand.
Okay, so just to recap really quick. We're talking about the image of Jesus Christ. Why we have this image. This is a biblical depiction of Jesus Christ. So the first thing that it describes is his head and his hairs. So his head, meaning the hair on his head, is white and woolly.
It's different and it looks like our hair.
Yes, it looks like our hair. Why? Because Christ was a black man. We're going to continue to read that. So his head and his hairs were white and woolly. And his eyes, like it says right here, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. So now, it's not literal beams of fire shooting out of his eyes. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the whites of his eyes turning red. Why? Because Jesus Christ drank wine. Now, we're going to read on some more.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So now, you know what, sis? This is a perfect example. Look at your feet compared to your arm. Aren't they the same? Isn't it the same skin color all around?
Yeah.
Right. So now it says his feet like in color. Read it again.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Like unto fine brass. Brass is already a derivative of brown.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So now you take something that was already brown and you put it into an oven and turn it up all the way. What color is it going to be? Very, very dark. Black. Burnt. So what is this saying about Christ? That he was a black man, a dark-skinned black man.
Right.
That's the Bible. So now when you look at this image, according to the verse that we just read, Revelation 1, chapter 1, verse 14, that describes Jesus Christ as being a black man.
Right.
Sis, follow me. Sis, Jesus Christ is a black man according to the Bible.
Right.
So you know what this means? It means that this image right here is alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that image before?
That?
Yes. Any one of those.
We always seen it in the wire, but not so many wire.
Okay. Just so you know, this is not Jesus Christ. This is Caesar Borgia. We just read that Jesus Christ, according to the Bible, has white woolly hair, as white as snow, that his eyes were as the flame of fire, and that his feet were like fine brass burned in a furnace. So he was a dark-skinned man. That none of these pictures are described by the words written in the Bible. You understand?
Yeah.
So again, sis, according to Revelation chapter 1, verse 14, Jesus Christ is a black man.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So the Bible also says that God is a black man. That's not God though. That's not God. That's a picture. That's a depiction of Jesus Christ. But we're gonna get the verse to prove what I just said about God being a black man. Daniel.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow.
So the Bible says the Ancient of Days. The Ancient of Days is talking about who? The Most High God. And it says that his garment was white as snow. So what does that mean? That God is not a puff of smoke. God has a body. For you to be wearing a garment, you have to have a body to put the garment on. You understand? You know.
And the hair of his head like the pure wool.
And the hair that's on the Most High God's head was like the pure wool. Just like in the image that we see there, just like I pointed out on the brother's head. The same textured hair that you see right here is the same textured hair that God has.
Right.
What does that mean? That God is a black man.
Right.
You know what Jesus said? If you've seen me, then you've seen my Father. So what does that mean? That Christ looks just like God. So if Christ is a black man, God must be a black man.
Right.
So now, let me ask you a quick question. You said you're Islamic. Islamic. So you read the Quran?
Sometimes.
Sometime?
Yes, every day.
Okay.
But I teach it.
But you don't teach it?
I teach it to read Quran every day.
Okay, so you read the Quran.
Yeah.
So now, in the Quran, does it describe to you, any prophecies? What does the Quran teach you?
Teach you not to do anything bad.
You know what the word Quran means?
Yes.
What's it mean?
It means the Muslim people are greater and
Says, I'm gonna just help you out. The word Quran means to recite. It's a recitation of the Bible. So now, like the captain brought out, our people are scattered throughout the world. So all we can do is read these words to you, and if your spirit bears witness with it, then it is what it is. So we're gonna go into the laws. You understand? Read.
Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
So the Spirit bears witness with our spirit, meaning what? The words of this Bible were able to bear witness with it that we are the children of God. Why? Because when it says that we would go into slavery on slave ships, that our people were beaten and stolen, murdered, and taught the Islamic faith, and that our people are still in slavery today. When it talks about those things, because we've seen it, we're able to bear witness with it. That's how we know that we are, in fact, the Israelites.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.